how does it look right now? Let's be honest.
LA is actually fine, believe it or not like New York. I mean, what I'm hearing about New York is insane. And during the pandemic, LA had kind of fallen into a bit of that with, there was just a far greater number, seems of homelessness camps that had popped up everywhere, lining the streets. I mean, where I live in Venice, it was the whole area had just become a homeless encampment, basically.
Did it feel unsafe to you walking around and everything?
Well, we didn't, I'm from living in LA, we couldn't walk around much.
Yeah.
we were like told stay in our houses and never leave.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it was for the most, I mean, during the height of the pandemic when we were in lockdown, it was pretty unsafe. So there was a lot of the, we saw the looting and the destruction of, like, Santa Monica got burnt down. I mean, it was really bad in a lot of areas, and it was unsafe. There were a lot more people, there was a lot more violence. I have an app on my phone that notifies me of all the violence that happens around, Citizen app that notifies me of all the violence that's going on around me. And it definitely higher rates. And it was always something really bizarre, like woman with a machete. And then, and that regularly somebody with a machete. That wasn't even like a one-off. That was an often occurrence.
Wow.
So we're seeing definitely a higher rate of violence. Certainly in the height of the pandemic, it got a lot scarier. And a lot of people around me that never considered owning guns were really seriously discussing buying guns. In fact, they must have, because the gun sales went through the roof, even in places like California. So it definitely, there's an increase in theft. We're seeing a lot more home, robberies when people are home.
Still
burglaries,
to this point.
Up till now, we're still seeing a higher rate of theft for sure. And I think probably violence. I haven't looked at the stats, but I would say I do see, just anecdotally in the app, more and more people seem to be getting assaulted when walking, but it doesn't feel that unsafe typically. I mean, we know, don't, take off your jewelry, don't bring your fancy bag or whatever, whatever it is, right? So don't leave anything in your car. People are being more cautious when it comes to that kind of thing.
So I'm curious, somebody like you could go anywhere, right? You have an independent show. You have the dream, right? You built this show up. You can work from anywhere you want.
In the world, yeah.
Anywhere, really anywhere.
As long as I have good internet.
There you go. Why do you stay in LA? What is it about it? Is it really the weather? Because I know the weather is extraordinary, but what is it
great.
Really that makes someone like you stay? You're saying, like, don't carry your nice bag. Those are...
I don't even have a nice bag, by the way, but if I did, I wouldn't carry it right now.
Right, but why live in a place where you couldn't carry a nice bag around, or you'd have to think about that if you have the ability to go wherever you want?
Well, I don't know where that place would be right now. I feel like crime is up everywhere. But specifically why I don't leave, and I get asked this question all the time, is I do love LA. I mean, I love LA. It's great. There are a lot of crazy things about it, but I grew up in Idaho where it was crazy as well in its own way. So I feel like anywhere you live, there's an element of crazy that's just going to be there. I don't, right, whether it be from the right or from the left, like you have to put up with something no matter where you live. But I do love LA. I love the weather. I love the food. I actually really love the people as well. My family's there, so that's another thing. My mom, my grandma, my mom's side of the family are all there. My husband is also, his whole family's there, and he's actually born and raised in the area. So for him, it's like leaving is, that would be a much bigger thing. I've lived all around the country. So
have you ever lived in New York?
I've lived in New York, yeah. I still have my New York number. I'm trying to sell it if anybody wants it.
Nobody wants it anymore. Nobody wants anything.
917 numbers, I think, still,
well, that's
right?
true. For some reason, that is true. People do like the 917.
I'm getting rid of it, though. So, But yeah, I lived in New York. I've lived in Texas. Austin, Texas is where I lived before going to LA. I've lived in Indiana, Illinois, Idaho, Utah.
Yeah, I mean,
Northern California, Southern California.
I love Southern California. Like, I always thought that would be the place that I would go, and I would, like, everyone like retires in Florida. I said, not me. I'm going to Malibu. I don't care. And then the pandemic happened. I watched what happened in New York. I watched what happened in California, and I had a baby, and it really changed everything for me because I said, I now need to think about schools. I now need to think about things a little bit differently, these policies, these mandates, what's going to happen. And I just don't trust these very blue cities in particular.
Right. That does make me pretty nervous because we are trying to have a child right now. So that does make me, that definitely frightens me a bit
Yeah.
of enrolling a child in a California school district where, you know, the state mandated that even private schools would make the kids get the vaccines, for example. And I'm just a big proponent of medical autonomy. I believe I will make the choice for myself and for my children, you know, with all the information. I want to be given all the information, but I want to make that choice. And, you know, for them to mandate it even in a private school, so you have no option except to homeschool. And even then, they're making it difficult because then if you want to enroll your child in extracurricular activities, they would then need to be vaccinated, for example. So hopefully they drop that type of thing. But the fact that they were even able to go there during this, I have to think, you know, 18 years of a child's life going through school, what are they going to do in the next 18 years? I don't know. That does make me definitely very nervous.
If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.